Hey there, I'm Cynthia, the Serenity Warrior Mama and founder of What You Seek Is Within. Today, I want to talk about something that's very near and dear to my heart. Communication has always been something that I've studied since I was probably 17 years old. Let's just say that communication wasn't always very respectful in my household. There was a lot of yelling, a lot of arguing, fighting going on when I was growing up. When I was young, 17, I started studying human interaction because it just fascinated me how the same person could behave in two completely different manners depending on who they were actually speaking with. It takes two people to have a conversation, and there is definitely an art to it. So as I was studying this art of communication, the best thing that I learned was that every human being, no matter who you are, the age, gender, religion, doesn't matter. Every human being wants to be understood. That is a basic human need. When we are trying to communicate with our spirited child, it can be very, very frustrating, and we can forget to understand their problem because we think we've seen it all before. I don't even need to hear what you have to say. I already know what the problem is. That's what's going through our minds. And when we don't allow our child to express themselves and we don't really listen and understand what it is that they have to say, they just get more and more frustrated. And the more frustrated they become, the worse our relationship with our child becomes. And the worse the relationship becomes, the less your child is willing to do that you request of them. So we would all love it if our children would just do what we ask the first time around. Now, some children are people pleasers and they do that, but spirited children, usually not. My youngest son's first answer is always no. It doesn't matter what I ask him to do, it's always no. Now, as of recent, since we've done a ton of work internally and externally, nutrition, everything under the sun, he is better about it. And I can tell how our relationship is, I can tell how our relationship is based on the response that I get from him. If he's very happy that day, if he's feeling very connected to me, if he's feeling a little bit of love that day, his answer is usually, sure, Mom, I'll go do it. And he'll happily run off and do it and come back. On the other hand, if he's having a really rough day and, I've already said a couple of negative things to him that day, like pick up your shoes or stop making that noise, please, or some things like that, the answer is automatically no. Automatically no. I'm not happy with you. I'm frustrated. I don't like you today. My answer is going to be no. That's what I get. And so really trying to understand what it is your child has to say before you speak is really very important. So when your child is trying to tell you something, whether they're telling you about a problem or they're telling you about their day at school, either way, your job is to listen. Your job is not necessarily to respond because they don't necessarily need a response for everything. You might have to say, yeah, that's interesting, so that they understand you're listening. But they're not necessarily looking for you to fix their problem or give them a solution. Sometimes they just want to talk. They just want to tell you about their day. So your job is to listen. When they're done speaking, the next thing that you should do is stop and say, is that all? Is there more? Is there anything else? Just pick one of those and give them about 15 seconds to respond. In general, if you have a kid who's not quite so talkative, this period of time is really, really important because it takes them that long to realize that, oh yeah, they do have more to say. And if you are one of those people who just likes to talk a lot and you talk over them, they may never fully get to say what it is that they need to say. And when they don't get to express themselves, they don't feel understood. And the less understood they feel, the more frustrated they feel, the worse the relationship and the worse the behavior. So I'm always going back to the behavior because that's what you come to me for help with, because you've got a spirited child, you're struggling, you need assistance. This is one of the best ways to help the relationship between you and your child so that their behavior will make a change for the better. So anyway, today was a quick one. Just wanted to give you that quick little reminder that communication takes two people, and that you really need to first understand what your child's issue is, and then seek to be understood yourself. But always understand first. So thank you. See you next time. Bye-bye.